Hello everyone, and welcome to Zilted, where I'm going to have a look at the P-38 from PixelVerse. This plane offers a huge number of customization options, which I'm not really going to take the time to look at just because there's too much, and I want to keep this video somewhat brief. But let's jump in, and we'll just see what the cockpit looks like. It's clearly a custom-made mesh for Second Life. As with a lot of the Pixel planes, they have their own way of making instruments and stuff like that. So the first thing we do is we just jump in, and then you notice that Avsitter comes up. And if you're not familiar with Avsitter, the way to make an adjustment is you type adjust, or you click on adjust and then pose. So I'm going to adjust my avatar 10 up, or 0.1 meter up. And the reason for that will become obvious once we actually start. So this plane is controlled by chat commands. So the first thing you do is bat, turns on your battery, and then hit your magnetos engaged, and then start engine 1. Start engine 2. So it has a few different camera views. If you type C, then it takes you to the static view, which is a little bit close for me. This is the default one, which is a dynamic view, and this is a closer dynamic view. I'm going to keep the C1 view. F for flaps, and the plane comes with a large number of gestures, all of which I am using currently, and I actually don't remember what all of them are, but the first one I'm going to use is the gesture T, and what that does is pitch and roll strength are both changed to acrobatic, which is what I like. And then once we get in the air, I'm going to use the X gesture, which will remove the banking. So the banking is one of the features that Second Life has. We're up. Flaps up. And you'll see as I turn, the plane banks, but it also will yaw, and I don't want that because this is going to be a fight mode. So you press the X, and then you have full control. And if I went to cruise level, it's a slower response, so you want acrobatic. So let's have a look at what we can do. First thing I'm going to do is just get a little altitude, so we're just going to climb straight up for a little while, and maybe try to get to about 350 or so. Over, take the throttle down to about 70%, and level off. Now, there's no individual rudder control from mouse lift. When you are external, there's a little bit of a slow crossing there. When you are external, you can just hold down the Shift key, do Shift A, Shift D. But when you are internal, what you have to do is toggle mouse lift rudder using the R key. So if I press mouse lift rudder when I'm in mouse lift, I can now yaw control. she looks like at full speed. So here we go, full speed. This is not quite through that. It's pretty quick though. I'm going to say that this is probably north of 40. Let's go to full speed again. It's 100 knots. I think it's about right for second light. So in reality, this plane would probably be doing 300 plus, maybe 350, 380 knots at this point full speed, especially in the valley. I think that's about right. I think we were probably a little north of 40. So we had some issues in the crossings last time, but I don't think it had anything to do with the plane per se. It was just random connection. Okay, so we've shown that we've got pretty good control. Let's see what our acrobatic flight is like. Let's try a barrel roll. I'm going to pull back on the stick and roll. Not bad. Little pylon turn to come back. Flatten it out. Barrel roll the other way. And there we go. How about a hammerhead? That's up, drop throttle, and rudder over. We might need a little bit more throttle. Okay. There we go. You're not able to actually do the throttle and controls at the same time. But that's a successful hammerhead, I would say. How about Immelman? So with an Immelman, we want to get up to loop speed. Not just 95, 100%. Get it to the top, keeping full throttle, and then we flatten it out for exit. And then the opposite of that, we want to gain a little altitude. The opposite is a split S. Here, we're going to slow down, roll the plane, inverted, and pull with less throttle for split S reversal. The plane has a lot of combat features, so if I say vice on, that will engage the combat. And probably the most impressive part of the combat for this plane is going to be the guns. There are a large number of HMG loaded 50 calibers in the front. There is a target over here that actually has a fair bit of HP. Yeah, let's make short work of that. And yeah, with 5 HMGs, there's not much that's going to survive. We've also got rockets. The rockets are fired with a gesture of a number. broken. There it is. Room to maneuver. Rockets. Didn't quite get it that time. So the last thing I'm going to show you are the bombs, and for that let's climb and see if we can do a little dive bombing. I practiced this a few times, so should work, but there's no guarantee. So I'm going to get up high for this. So we're going to just try to drop the bomb straight onto the carrier like we would. Just like the real life P-38. Just like the real life P-38, this thing has a it has a dive brake, so the gesture is V, and that'll slow you down a lot, help you maintain control in a dive. So I'm gonna just release that for now, try to climb back up so I can try one more time. Bombs. All right, one last time. Alright, I think we got it this time. Now this is what you want to see. In Second Life, it's better to try to dive bomb straight down. So let's just get bomb 1, bomb 2, and there they go. Boom. Okay, vice off. And let's see if we can land this plane. So I'm going to put it back on bank mode, which is that's the X command. And I'm also going to put it back on the gentle mode. That's the T command. And gear down, flaps. So for this, let's take to about 50% plane. Notice this is the first time I flew the plane. You do not want to carry too much speed on landing, otherwise you're going to carry it. Okay, master rudder. throttle a little bit. Down. Back into the runway. Throttle just a little bit more. There. It has a little reverse. The real one does, but it's nice that we have that. So, okay, engine 1 off, engine 2 off. Flaps up. Magneto's off. Battery off. And we will exit. I'm going to show you one more feature, which actually I shouldn't have exited first, but so you see there's bombs and rockets. There's 8 rockets, 2 bombs. Like I said, there's 5 HMG machine guns. If you want to bring a passenger, of course there's no passenger seat because this is a P-38, but they've given us the option to have pods, which is, well, it's interesting anyway. What you do is say load P, and then these show up. So if you were a passenger, or just anyone, you just kind of get in close, and then sit here, and then this is where you will ride, right next to the engine. There's no way of dropping these as far as I know, so it does not become a ballistic drop thing for your passengers, but they can actually ride along in the plane. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.